Yeah, man. So we're getting into this positive Newcastle United content. We love to see it, don't we?
Definitely, definitely. Are we going? Are we going?
Yeah, we're going, man. No big intro, man. People know who
All
you are. People
all
know.
right, all right. Let's get cracking into it then.
Right. So I have put out some names just for people that are just kind of figuring out what we're trying to do here. So we're trying to figure out the Newcastle United best 11 from both of our point of view. Now, bearing in mind we're still kind of youngish. Speaking more about myself, we're
Wait, are you trying to say that I'm older than you?
no, I know this guy. He's a young guy. Look at him. Look at the little moustache there. You can tell. We're not going to go for like the traditional Bob Monkers, even though massive respect to them, Jackie Milburn and all the rest of it, only because we've both not seen them play. So we're going to go for people that we've seen play and our best 11. And it doesn't count that old videos and stuff. So, yeah.
100%. Yeah. As I said, I think this might be like the only bit of positive Newcastle YouTube comment in the last few days. Credit to them, every right to feel shit after Sheffield United, but Jesus, with the negativity in the outside world, don't need it in Newcastle as well, do you know?
That's all we need. I mean, look, I've been seeing all the videos that have been doing the rounds, even today. Like every man and their dog who supports Newcastle United has been on TalkSport talking about, we want Bruce out.
Yeah.
Warren Barton came out the other day and said something.
Did you see there's a banner outside the training ground as well? It says Hendrick, Joe Linton, and Bruce out. I thought it's a bit harsh to bring. Really? Yeah, outside the training ground. Yeah, I thought that's a bit harsh, like to bring Hendrick and Joe Linton into it as well. They play. That's where they work.
I mean, look, anyone can get it. At this moment in time, anyone can get it. So no one is exempt from getting these shots that are fired.
You don't want to piss off the Geordies. Alan Pardew got protests for about 2 years straight.
Exactly. So look what happened to him, man. Look, at this moment in time, I'd welcome Pardew back with open arms, if that was the case. But
100%, he got us fifth. I think a lot of people forget that. He got us within breathing space of the Champions League.
Yeah, and then we still took the piss out of him. We still didn't want him there. So
yeah, he wasn't actually that bad at all.
Yeah, I know. Go figure, eh? But right, so this Newcastle United all-time 11. Again, just for anyone who's joining right now, it's people that we've seen play. So again, anyone of 50s, 60s, we're not that old.
Nah.
Okay. Contrary to the rumors. So goalkeepers, I put a little short list together, if you like.
Give me all right. Get the short list in a minute. Give me your one. Who are you picking from? Who is your number one that you can go through the rest of them?
All right, hold on.
I'm challenging you. I want we can all name off like 5 players each, but No,
I'm not going to name 5 players each. I'm just to remind people who are watching it, like the goalkeepers that we've had over the years. So Shay Ginn, of course, Steve Harper, Dubravka, which is recent, Darlow, which is recent, and then going back again, Shaka Hislop. I just remembered him. And the only reason why I remember Shaka Hislop because back in the day, I used to have that kit where it had like the orange and reds.
Yeah.
And then obviously I wore it. Black guy wearing a flipping Newcastle. Shaggy Hislop. So
he was decent, to be fair. He was all right.
He was all right. And he's now gone on to be a pundit, isn't he? Now, so
yeah. But I think he had something crazy, like 100 caps for Trinidad and Tobago or something. I remember watching it. I remember he was playing against England at a World Cup, and he played an FA Cup final against Liverpool like a month earlier. So he did okay for himself.
Yeah, he did all right. But I think out of all the positions over the years, I think goalkeepers is definitely where we've been blessed. Like we've always had 2 good goalkeepers, in my opinion. It's like obviously Given and Harper together. At this moment in time, Dubravka and Darlow. And I think there's another pair as well that I can't think of right now. But
you know the weird thing with goalkeepers, it's such an important position. If you look in the Premier League, even the shit teams have good keepers. Like it's literally arguably the most important position on the pitch. Because you look through the Premier League now, and it's literally filled full of top class ones. So if you're going to survive in the league, you need to have a steady pair of hands, 100%.
Oh yeah, I mean there was a couple moments in times when we didn't. I mean, going back to the championship days, Matt Sells.
Yeah. What is it? Shaky Stevens used to call him.
Stevens, yeah. Do you remember? This might be before your time. Lionel Perez, we got him from over the road for Sunderland.
I didn't see him, but I've heard the horror stories. Yeah.
Hey.
Do you remember Jack Anik?
Jack Anik, okay, fair enough.
Oh no, horrific. I think it was like the end of 2014. We had an injury crisis, and we chucked him in goal, and he conceded something like 14 goals in 5 matches or something ridiculous.
Wow.
It was horrific. He was like a cardboard cutout. Chuck him on the line.
Now I've got a suggestion here. I'm not going to read out that from me because that name is just But the person that he put is Timothy Krul. I forgot to actually put him in there as well. So Timothy Krul, Tim Krul.
He went through a stage where for about 2 years he was unbeatable. Well, no, he'd go through patches where he was unbeatable, like Spurs away when he made.
Yeah, that was his one performance. Yeah,
a bit like Darlow this season. Making about 20 saves against Spurs. So
my suggestion is pretty obvious one. Shay Given has to be it for me. Like, again, I think second to Shearer, like probably our best legend of our era.
I think he's quite underrated. Not necessarily by Newcastle fans, but in general. Because when you hear people talk about Premier League legends, you don't really hear his name get chucked in. And I think it's because for the most part he was in a pretty shit team.
Because he played for us.
Even when we were good in the Champions League, we still had a shit defense. So he was playing behind Titus Bramble, fucking Nikos Dabizais, like. Yeah, no, trust. I'm glad you said Given. I was worried you were gonna go with someone else. Given was.
It's obviously Given. It can't be anyone else. Like Dubravka's not been there long enough. Darlow's certainly not been there long enough. Harper was pretty much his understudy for the best part of his career. And Xhaka Hislop was between the sticks for like 2 minutes. I mean, that horrible shout out you got to give up to, obviously, rest in pieces to Pavel Cernacek. But I think for me, Shay Given, he's just definitely up there. And again, I feel like he should be more involved in the club. I think last time I checked, he was doing something with Derby. Is that correct? But
I think so. Well, I think the reason he's not with Newcastle anymore in terms of like a coaching capacity is it ended pretty sour. I know he brought out his book a couple of years ago. He basically said that he was right. I think the way he left for Man City, I think the club tried to make out that he was demanding to leave, and that wasn't complete. Mike Ashley and all them. The PR moves they make to throw people under the bus.
Yeah, one of them ones. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we're decided on shaking. Okay, cool. We're playing nice at the moment. We're playing nice. All right. So moving to right back, as you can see on the screen there. So I've got a couple names there. So Warren Barton, more my era. Stephen Carr, the legend that is Stephen Carr.
Again, he's another one I watch for Club and Country. So I saw combined about 100 games of Stephen Carr. That's enough. All right, that's enough.
He scored some worldies, though, to be fair, this time.
No. He scored one worldie against Southampton away, and that was it. And then he stopped.
Well, I was going to say they were all for us. I mean, he did score some worldies, but it was mainly for, like, Tottenham. Danny Simpson obviously played for us in the Championship, and obviously when we finished 5th as well, he was playing that team. Daryl Yanmat, I was scraping the bottom of the barrel there, sorry.
Oh.
I know, as I said, I was scraping the bottom of the barrel, man. Like, come on, I was trying to...
I know how you could have dug yourself out of the hole with this. There is a better right back than Daryl Yanmat.
Who?
Habib Bey. Remember him?
Oh!
Yeah. He was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
He was solid. He wasn't so good going forward, but he was a solid right back under Big Sam.
Oh, yeah.
He's okay. I think he only stuck around for about a year, but yeah, he was better than fucking Yanmat.
I think didn't he end up at Aston Villa as well? I'm sure of it.
Yeah, he did, and then he completely flopped. He didn't do shit at Aston Villa. But for us, he was in such a bang average team under Big Sam where nothing really happened. He was one of the shining lights. I remember that. Didn't Yanmat break his hand away against Southampton when we were in the relegation scrap? He went in and he punched the wall and broke his hand and was out for about 3 games.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Who's running the Let's Code account saying anyone but Yanmat?
Hey, it's James. That's James.
Is that James, Mister? I own my property and I've got my own lake. Yeah, all right. I see you. I see you.
Nice. It's like a bit of a class of 15 reunion here.
I know, mate. If Pauline could see us all now, right?
Oh yeah. All we need is Pauline and Elaine to pop in and start yapping about shorthand shit.
So I'm gonna let you go first. I went first in the last one, so I'm putting it on you this time. Who are you gonna go with for right back?
It's not a stellar bunch to pick from. It really isn't. I know. All right. I know the correct answer is Warren Barton. That's who I should pick. But again, 90s is before my time. Based on what I've seen, Debussy.
Yeah,
he was good. You know, he was good for. I'm not sure exactly how long he was here. He was only here about 2 years before he pissed off to Arsenal. But he was solid.
Okay.
Yeah. I also have a bit of a soft spot for Danny Simpson.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. Sorry, Callum Young says Anita was probably a better right back.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm sorry, I should have put Yamba in. I'll take it back. I'll put Habib Bey in there, even though we're not going to pick him. But
yeah. No, as I said, Danny Simpson is slightly underrated, I think.
And again, the fact he's a Premier League winner.
Yeah,
remember that he's a Premier League winner.
Yeah. And he was. I remember. I think it was the season we got back up. I think we played Man United away. We got a 1-1 draw. No, it was the season after that. He got a 1-1 draw, and he cleared like three shots off the line or something. He was always in the right place.
Okay, so for me, if I was going to pick out a Debussy and Simpson, I would have to lean towards Simpson, morely for the fact that A, he was with us when we finished 5th, B, he was with us when we was in the championship, I believe, and C, when he went on from us. Some people do, some people don't, but he went on to bigger and better things, i.e. winning the Premier League. So for me, it'd have to be Simpson over Debussy.
I know it's been like 5 years, but I still can't really. It's not really sinking in. Danny Simpson started as a Premier League winning right back.
Started, you know.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it should be a thing. Yeah, man.
So what are we going for? Are we going for Simpson or Debussy?
Well, I'm going for Debussy because Debussy he was starting for France at the time. Yeah. Simpson. Yeah, he was decent, but never anything more than that. I think Debussy earned himself a move to Arsenal. Simpson did he get chucked off to QPR and got sacked from them? So it was a bit of a rocky road before he got to Leicester. But I think if you're picking a player, Debussy was a better right back than Simpson. French international, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll put Debussy in there. You know my thoughts, people.
You're not going to fight your corner.
I'll let you have that one. I'm just, you're the guest and all the rest of it now. I thought,
I see. All right. I like it.
I'm not saying to this guy. Debussy. All right, cool. Right, let's move on to the left back situation. Right, so again, pretty slim pickings. The fact that I had to put Willems in there as well.
Yeah.
Domit, Enrique, Santon, Beresford, and Jetro Willems. Now,
yeah.
Bearing in mind, I was rushing it as well at the end there. So if you can give me a left back, then yeah.
I got another one for you.
Oh, who?
I've interviewed him. You were there.
Oh.
Hey, Olivier Bernard.
Yeah.
He was good. Didn't Laura Bear smack him in the head and he nearly went into a coma? Something like that.
If that's his highlights, then wait, come on now.
No. I remember him scoring a banger against Arsenal away. He was good. He played for the younger ones. He played in the team under Shababi, and yeah, our defense was a load of shit, but he at least looked all right.
Yeah, Ross agrees. Olivier Bernard.
Come on, Ross. Eh?
He agreed with everything that you said. You could have said flipping, I don't know, Jamal Lewis, or you said, anyway.
Anything to be said for Charles and Zogby at left back?
Shout out to Alan Bush. He said it has to be Bez. See,
Alan Bush is a quality name.
Yeah.
All right. You tell me which out of that stellar bunch of pretty average left backs are you going for?
I would have to go with. Well, I'll tell you who it's not going to be. and it's not going to be Willems, and it's not going to be David Santon. I would have to probably go with Jose Enrique. I think Jose Enrique, when he came in, he changed a lot for us, and we didn't hold on to him for long enough, maybe due to where we were going. And then obviously went to a decent Liverpool side at the time.
Yeah,
I think it was decent for us as well in the Championship as well. Wasn't his nickname like Ball as well? I think so.
He scored a great goal against was it Nottingham Forest, which kind of sealed promotion. I think it was about March, about 10 years ago. But yeah, a funny thing about Enrique, I have to laugh every time I think of him. He said that Newcastle, when he left for Liverpool, he said that Newcastle would never again challenge for the top 5 under Mike Ashley, and he should have been right. But somehow we fluked 5th the season he was gone, and Liverpool ended up finishing like 7th in the league. So do you remember they came to St James's Park, we beat them 2-0, Cisse scored twice, and he went in goal because their keeper got sent off, and it was the whole stadium cheering, Jose Enrique, we're in the top 6. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But he was a good left back. He was good.
Who would you go for then? A few people saying Beresford still. Beresford would be a close second.
Yeah, again, Beresford is probably the right answer, but I'm not going to mention any players I didn't see live. I'm going to say, Bernard. It's a travesty Bernard's not in the top 5. He's almost.
If you want to put Bernard in there, by all means,
get Paul Dummett out of this selection.
What? Paolo Maldummett, you don't want to put him in there.
Any defender called Paul is usually a big pile of wank. All right, we've seen it with McShane. Nah.
Oh, don't get to Paul McShane. No, we're not about to do that. We're not. Let's keep it PC now. All right, we're going to Paul McShane now.
All right. Well, we know what position Dummett is in, and that's a left wing back for sure.
Oh no, mate! Anytime he goes over the halfway line, he gets a nosebleed. So
exactly, yeah. No, I'd agree with you. I'd go with Enrique. He, solid, good player. Got us back up and earned himself a move to a big Premier League giant. I was going to say big club, but obviously Newcastle are a big club, and I would get absolutely pelters if I.
That's still up for debate if we are or not. I think we've been ruined in that respect. But hey, okay, Enrique. But again, gotta give shout out to Olivier Bernard. Apologies for leaving you out, mate. But
and he's a nice guy. Yeah, I asked him for an interview the same day I asked Shola Amiobi for an interview. Shola Amiobi nearly laughed in my face. So
what?
Well, he's a busy man.
Yeah, I bet he is. Yeah, dealing with all those loans of Mike Ashley's.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough said. Right, let's move it into the centre half positions then, hey. So I've got the usual suspects in the front two anyway. So Philippe Albert, Jonathan Woodgate, Jamal Lascelles, Fede Fernandez, and Fabrizio Colaccini. Now you're probably going to say, how come you didn't put X, Y, and Z person in there? Go on.
I'm just trying to think.
Remember, we were not really blessed in this position.
No, you're right.
Long while.
100%, you're right. Let us know in the comments if there's anyone. I'm trying to think of any center. Fernandez is an interesting one.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you're wrong because he is. To be honest, he's been he's one of those players where when he arrives, he's an underwhelming signing, but he's actually turned out to be a pretty decent player.
Pretty decent, to be fair. I mean, we could have named. I could have named a couple more from like the current quad rock. I think Kieran Clark's grown on me in recent months. Maybe
if Kieran Clark ends up in the top 5 Newcastle centre backs of the last 20 years, I'm jumping off a bridge because.
Oh, you're just gonna say jump into a lake because you do that anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. I've done it like 3 times. Yeah.
He does it anyway. Oh, what people said. Alan Bush is saying the Davies asked for his pure passion, but he got. See, again, he's known for something that's negative, and that's getting spun by Dennis Bergkamp into, last.
I'm afraid that is Davies as his CV. That's just his legacy in football, being absolutely ruined by Dennis Bergkamp. Alan Bush, you absolute madman. Let's see.
Mark Betham, wow! I haven't heard from your name in ages. How you doing? He said,
Mark.
How can you have Titus? How can't you have Tyus Bramble? I knew someone was going to bring them up. Look.
Again, Mark, you absolute madman.
Leave Bramble and leave Boom Song out of it. Look, we went through tough times, all right?
Oh, no. I'm just about 20 minutes ago, I mentioned Boom Song in my video. He's an absolute defensive egg sandwich. Woodgate and Albert. Yeah, that's probably... Yeah, that's... No, hang on. Woodgate and Albert is probably the correct one. But, again, I wasn't around for the 90s. I was too busy playing Pokemon and shit in my head. Colaccini, and I'll go Colaccini and Woodgate. Colaccini gets a bad rep, you know, because he's a weird one, right? He was... For about 2 years, he was brilliant. 2-3 years, he was brilliant for Newcastle. But it was just bookended by a terrible start and a real bad end to his Newcastle career. And I think that's what lingers in people's minds.
Don't you remember when Alan Pardew compared him to was it Bobby Moncur, did he?
I think it was Bobby Moore.
Bobby Moore, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Kind of throwing a spanner into the work, saying 13-14 Mike Williamson only that season. That's a fair point.
It's not. No.
That one season, he was half decent. He didn't look like we plucked him out of obscurity. Like, he actually did look half decent. So
he did look him out of obscurity for a reason. He's not good for any half decent team. Mike Williamson. Nah, Callum Young knows what he's doing here. If not, seek medical help. Honestly, I'm going Colaccini Woodgate. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. What are you saying?
Oh, before you say that, are you sure? Because Arctic Swan is saying Chancel and Bemba. Now, this guy has probably the best chance ever. I don't know about defending, but remember,
I'm gonna say this. Chancel and Bemba is this decade's Sebastian Bissong in the fact that they were both so overrated.
Wow.
What he is. Both of them are.
Wow.
I remember Sebastian Bissong, when he came to Newcastle, he was given Seb Bissong Day in like February 2009 or something because he looked half decent in a relegated side. He was shit. They both went down. They both got relegated.
You are a bad man. You know that. You are a bad man. Putting him in the same bracket as Sebastian Bissong. Wow. That's what
Did you like Bissong?
He was all right. I mean, we did a bit of business on him. We picked him up for like 500 quid and sold it for about 8 mil or something like that. So it was good business. I can agree with that. I'm sounding more like Mike Ashley every day, but let us
know in the comments. Am I completely because I know they're both absolute cult heroes at the club when they were here. I didn't rate either. Let me know if I'm wrong.
So you're older. So once again, you're going Colaccini and Woodgate. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah,
Colaccini was brilliant when he was on it, and Woodgate is just a class act.
Right, okay. So I would probably usually go Albert and Woodgate, like I think Alan Bush said. But I'll let you have one, and I'll have one. So if you're having Colaccini, I'll have Woodgate.
Good man. Hey, see?
You see that?
I'm getting my own way on this. It's great.
It's working together, man. We're a team, man. We're a team. I want to win.
That's it.
With that central defensive partnership, it can happen, man. Right, so moving on to right wing. Shoot, I should have done it at the start. I'm guessing we're playing like 4-4-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what we grew up with.
Yeah. 4-4-2. All right, cool.
Easy enough.
So, right wing, again, clutching at straws after the first 2, maybe 3. Nobby Solana, of course. Keith Gillespie, more in my day. Hatem Ben Arfa, I already know what he means to you anyway, so it's a given. And then obviously
100%
ASM from this era. If there's anyone I've missed out, again in the comment section, let me know, or let us know, sorry, right wingers, but I can't remember too many that we have.
Fabrice Pancras, maybe?
I thought he was going to say him, but no. The only other one I just remember now, Wayne Routledge. Remember him? We had him in the championship?
Yeah, I remember Wayne Routledge.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. No, Jimmy Milner, no? Jimmy Milner, he was all right.
He was all right, but I feel like we didn't get him at... he scored one good goal. I remember, I think it was against Man United.
Yeah, he cut in on the left wing and smashed the top corner.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what it is? It's because he's not a winger, and we played him on the wing, and he's since gone on to be... He's since gone on to be a Premier League winning midfielder. So it's
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think we didn't play him right wing or like we know as a right winger.
Yeah.
Ross is saying right wing. It's very tough. Ben Arthur for me. Feel bad for leaving out Gillespie and Solano. Callum Young. If Tobin has the career he's had at Newcastle, this would have been a good shout. Not bad. I remember them days. Got Remy Cabella and Florian Thauvin. Bloody hell.
Why are you saying I remember them as if you're nostalgic about it? It was shit. They were all crap.
I just remember because it reminds me. I was living up in Newcastle at the time, and I just remember the whole tuxedo thing. And I remember seeing actually Thauvin play. I think he played in like a League Cup game, and we got beaten.
Sheffield Wednesday.
That's the one.
I think you, Ryan, and Nathan from the chorus were going to that game.
Yeah.
And you're also hyped because you got tickets. It was like the worst game of football ever. And you were like a curse. You didn't like the first 4 games you go to. Newcastle lost every one. Like,
I mean, they don't need me to lose, do they? Let's face it. I already know who you're going to go with, so I might as well go with mine first.
Obvious.
See, I'm torn, man. I'm torn. It's not ASM, obviously, because he's just been there 5 minutes and he's sick. It's probably not going to be. What?
I'm sure he's sick. It's a very legit illness.
Yeah, he's sick.
Sick of Bruce's tactics.
Yeah. I don't know. It probably would be between Solano and Ben Arthur. Even though I grew up with Keith Gillespie and Ginola on the wings and stuff, but
you interviewed Gillespie, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. But it's something about Solano's free kicks as well. Solano's free kicks, and he always used to find Shearer as well. But again, Ben Arthur for me, man, just something else.
To me, Ben Arthur is the most skillful player we've had at least since the 90s, at least since the days of David Ginola and Peter Beardsley. I still can't believe we got him.
So cheap as well. I think it was like £5 million, but I think there's a reason behind it. Well, we also
the first 4 months or whatever that we had him, he looked sick. No, first 2 months we had him, and then he got injured, and I thought, well, this is the end of it, because I think he was still only on loan. I thought, he's just going to be packaged back to France and we'll never see him again. But he stuck around, and some of the goals he scored, like Bolton at home, we dribble half the pitch. Blackburn, where he goes past about 9 defenders, turning their ankles into wet pasta. Lovely. Probably my favorite ever Newcastle player. And I know a lot of Newcastle fans don't feel that way because they found he was too inconsistent, and he didn't pass the ball enough. But I don't pass the ball. It's all I know.
But creative players are like that. They're never going to like fulfill their. Well, they're not going to have like 100% dribble rate, are they? Right, unless it's Lionel Messi. And if he was Lionel Messi levels, let's face it, he would never be at Newcastle. Let's face it. So for me,
us dribblers are a cursed bunch. It's can be maddeningly inconsistent. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ben Arfa, but Solano is obviously he was a top player. Free kicks, crossing. I think you go with Solano if you want assists, and you go with Ben Arfa if you want just insane levels of trickery.
Yeah, I think Ben Arfa is probably the one player. Yeah, the one player that gets me off my seat. Like, it's very rare these days. Maybe ASM to an extent now, but consistently you're thinking, something's going to happen. He's going to do something. And I miss those sort of moments there. That's what kind of got me into, supporting Newcastle United. Because, again, when I got into football, we labelled us the entertainers. So you had the likes of Gillespie, Ginola, and all the rest of it. But when I saw Ben Arfa, because there was such a massive gap between that generation and Ben Arfa, I was like, yes.
It was like a throwback to that. And I think
massive.
I think, to be fair, Sam Maximin is the same kind. He's kind of cut from the same cloth. He is the modern day Ben Arfa. You would say, wouldn't you, Sam Maximin?
Yeah. To an extent, yeah. I mean, yeah. I was saying, wonder how good Shearer would be with Ben Arfa on the wing instead of Solano. Solano's perfect for Shearer. I don't think they would have worked.
I think Shearer would probably have killed him stone dead.
Exactly.
The ball in the box.
Shearer just wanted it. Look, I'm going to be here. You deliver it there, and that's it.
Yeah.
Not Ben Arthur. Oh, he's cutting in. He's cutting back. I can't see Shearer doing that. Whereas it works.
There's a story of that at Man United when a young Cristiano Ronaldo was coming through, and he was all about the stepovers and the tricks and impressing the fans. And Ruud van Nistelrooy nearly killed him in training because he just said, "No, get the ball in the box, just put it in."
That's all you got to do. Just get the ball in the box. I'll do the rest. You do your job. I do mine. Whereas Ben Arthur, always been labelled as a maverick. You don't know what he's going to do, and we kind of love that. And I'd love to hear it from them a Bar's point of view because obviously he played up top at that moment in time. But for us, that was the one to watch. So yeah, I'm gonna put Ben Arthur in there as well. I can definitely agree on that one.
Good man.
Moving over to left wing. So, I couldn't think any more. I was just like,
Three. Where's Damien Duff? Huh?
The guy that got relegated.
Yeah.
No way am I putting him in.
That was such an ironic twist for me because he was my favourite player growing up, Damien Duff, with the Ireland team. And just so happens that he relegates my team then within 6 years.
You and your Irish players, man, like they just let you down over time. Like Paul McShaney got beef with Stephen Carr, David Duff. Who didn't let you down? Roy Keane couldn't have let you down, surely, and Given. Those are the two, right?
Me and Roy Keane ditched us on the eve of a World Cup, so that wasn't great.
Oh yeah.
Given never let me down, never.
Yeah, Given solid. I don't know who else is there left wing wise. Like,
I'm sure we could find some left wingers. Almiron, there's no way Almiron's on the top 3 left wingers.
I was struggling, man. I was just like, who else is there? Like, rack your brains. People in the comments, rack your brains as well. Like, who is there left wing wise that's worthy of putting in there?
I mean, I think in Zogbia, like
you're clutching at straws now in Zopia. Come on.
I am, but there's no way there's a top 3 with David Gina and Miggy Almiron in the same breath.
Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Look, Callum Young says not an honourable mention. Gutierrez. Okay, all right, Gutierrez. But again, I remember. I know he had the not the fairy tale ending, but the nice ending in terms of he was ousted out the door and he scored in that last game, whatever. But for me, I just remember being so frustrated with him because he just couldn't cross.
You're in dangerous territory now. Speaking ill of Jonas Gutierrez.
No, listen. Everyone respects him, loves him, wants a Geordie, always a Geordie, and all the rest of it. But look, if you can go back in time and see your old tweets, whoever you're pointing fingers at me, I guarantee you'll be frustrated with him, and he was frustrated at the time.
Yeah. I remember though he had do you remember his debut against Man United away in 2008 when he first came, and we didn't really know what to expect, and he just absolutely tore them. He tore them to shreds.
He could run. He had a great engine. He could run. I remember Pardew always saying that he would alleviate pressure from the left back because obviously him and Enrique worked well at the time. But for me, Mark, what are you talking about, bro? Talk about Joe Linton there. Get out of here, Mark. Come on. Let's be serious now, bro. Come on. But yeah, for me, look, there's only one person really gets it for me, and that's probably got to be Ginola.
Yeah.
David Ginola. Come on, man. Come on.
I know, no, 100%. You remember that goal against Ferenc Varos? Of course you do. It's iconic.
Man.
Bangs it.
Yeah. But look, Robert, again, his 2 goals in particular, just had a one of a left foot. Again, going back to what you said earlier when he knocked out Olivier Bernard.
Yeah. I remember he was going for a goal of the season competition in one game against Spurs. We beat them 4-0 before Christmas. He bangs in a great one from about 30 yards, and then he volleys from about 25 yards 5 minutes later.
Different gravy, man. Gravy.
He was one of those who just didn't do crap goals. They all had to be worldies.
But didn't he I just remember him walking off the pitch with his pants down or something like that. Didn't he?
Yeah.
Something crazy. Like his final game. I think that was his final game for the club as well,
Might have been.
Just falling out with the manager at the time. I can't remember who the manager is.
Be Souness. Souness got rid of him.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
It was all going swimming under Sir Bobby, and then Souness comes in, and out goes Bellamy, out goes Robert, out goes half the team.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Ross says, Souness leaving Robert out of the UEFA Cup tie against Sporting Lisbon, lost us that tie, yeah. Good memory there, mate, yeah. So, Yeah, so many managers that we've had ruining our teams over the years, but
that Sporting Lisbon game is a nightmare, you know. Won the first leg 1-0, go 1-0 up in Portugal in the second leg, 2-0 up in aggregate, lose 4-1. Shocking.
Yes, this club has suffered.
The same month we lost the FA Cup semi-final to Man United, 4-1. The same month Lee Boyer and Kieran Dyer fought each other on the pitch and got sent off. April 2005 was a bad month.
What, your brain's like some encyclopedia thing. What do you remember all of that?
Because it's traumatic. It's traumatic childhood memories. That's why.
Oh yeah, imagine what the youth of today are witnessing. Like growing up as a Newcastle fan, they're thinking, "Is this normal?" It's like anyone under the age of like 15 or whatever. This is not normal.
We're talking about losing UEFA Cup quarterfinals as if that was a nightmare. We'd kill for a sniff of the Europa League nowadays. I think we got lucky.
The only time that Pippin, these guys are playing Europa League football when they're catching cheap EasyJet flights to Portugal or something like that. That's the only sniff that they're getting of Europa football.
Pretty much.
Football. But,
all right, so you're going Ginola.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not picking 90s players. I'm going Robert. Yeah, Ginola was a better player, but I'm only sticking with what I saw and Lauren Robert. He was a brilliant left winger.
Okay. To overrule this, what's the comment saying? Ross is saying Robert for me, although he was lazy, those long shots and crosses were awesome. Arctic Swan saying Jonas Gutierrez. Mark said Joe Linton, so I'm not even having that one. Callum again saying Jonas is good defensively. But Mark also did say Ginola. Tough one. I don't know. Which one should we go for?
I think someone in the comments said Ginola. Well, what are the comments? Are the comments mostly Robert or Ginola?
It's a mix. One says Gutierrez, one says Jonas, again, was good defensively. One says Robert, one says Ginola.
Oh, listen, the only reason I'm not saying Ginola is because I didn't see him play live, but I know he was a better player than Robert. So go on, stick him in. He won PFA Player of the Year, so.
There we go. Overruled. Having that.
Yeah.
Right, centre midfield. This is where it could get a bit Lionel Messi, mate.
If I see Sean Longstaff's name in here, I swear to God.
No, we're not that badly clutching at straws. Don't worry about that. Centre midfield pairings. The first two speak for themselves. Gaza, Beardsley, more recently, obviously Kabay, Tiote, Gary Speed, Rob Lee, and then Kieran Dyer. I remember Kieran Dyer was my favourite player for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. I think we didn't have much going on at that time. I think it was
What's new?
Say again?
What's new?
Yeah, exactly. What's new? But yeah, Kieran Dyer was the one for me at that time. And then I think he got injured for a while. But yeah, Gaza, Beardsley. Funny enough, I threw Gaza in, but I can't actually remember him playing in a Newcastle shirt, so maybe I should have taken him off. Peter Beardsley, definitely remember seeing him playing up top, especially with Andy Cole. Johan Kabay, obviously alongside Tiote, God rest his soul. Same with Gary Speed. Rob Lee and Kieran Dyer. So, anyone else that you can throw in there in the mix?
I bet you someone's going to say John Joe Shelby, some kid who doesn't know any better, who's only grew up with this brainhead style of football.
Exactly. They've only grown up in like the last 13 years or whatever, all they've seen is that. Oh, you know what? Callum Young, you're so right. Sorry. No Nolan or Joey Barton. Okay.
Yeah. Kevin Nolan is a worthy shout. I don't think Barton did quite enough to get himself in the all-time shortlist. But Nolan, the hat-trick in Sunderland, yeah, he's a worthy shout. Yeah.
Mark saying Rob Lee and Gary Speed for me, but some great choices with Kabay and Tiote with a great partnership. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sam, listen, I'll put your thing on screen when you get rid of that name, your YouTube name. But who's put Henri Save? Like, no. Ross said too young for Gaza at Newcastle. Rob Lee was solid for us, and Kabay for me. Beardsley was always up front when I saw him. Yeah, he was always up front with Andy Cole, but I don't know. I just put him centre midfield. Arctic Swan saying Wijnaldum.
Wijnaldum.
We need players to play home and away. You know that, right?
Is this a Liverpool fan or something?
It's a troll. It's a troll.
He was great at St James's Park, but Jeff Hendrick, he says. Yeah? Let me get me started on Jeff Hendrick.
Well, one game a season, that's it.
I even said it when he first came. I knew he was going to be a pile of dog food. It was just
There's a reason why he was going for free. There's a reason why.
And I don't take great credit in this, but I remember saying when everyone was losing their mind over Sean Longstaff and he was getting linked with £50 million move to Man United, I said it. It's not going to last. He's the modern day Stephen Taylor just in midfield.
We should just let him go like Frozen and just say, here you go, 50 mil. Yeah, we'll rip up the receipt. No takesies, backsies, that's it.
I remember going on Newcastle Fans TV radio show that night, like 18 months ago, and it was actually a debate about whether or not we should accept 50 million for Longstaff. How is this even a debate? Take the money, please.
I don't think we get 15 quid for it right now.
Nah.
Anyway,
not a lot.
Who are you putting in there in centre midfield then? Is there anyone else that possibly we missed out?
I feel kind of harsh leaving out. All right, listen. Gary Speed and Rob Lee were both incredible players. I'm speaking more about Speed because I saw more of him. Rob Lee obviously was brilliant in the 90s. Speed, I think Speed deserves to make this team. But the Cabaye-Tiote partnership, it was the perfect blend. The yin and yang. I remember we beat Man United 3-0 at home. Cabaye was the orchestrated midfield. Tiote was the defensive linchpin.
Yeah.
So I think that combination works the best if you're picking a team because you know how they play together, and it was brilliant. I'm going with Cabaye-Tiote, but Speed, as an all-round player, Speed is better than Tiote, but for an absolute all-out destroyer, I'm putting Tiote beside Cabaye.
Okay.
What do you think?
I've got to again give an honourable shout out to Kieran Dyer. I loved him when we signed him, and again, he carried our team a lot of the times. Gaz is again probably two before our time. But I definitely didn't remember him in a Newcastle shirt, more in a Tottenham shirt. So he's out of question. Beardsley probably deserves to be more up front than anything else. So that just brings us down to Cabaye and Tiote. Like you said, great partnership.
Yeah.
And then Speed as well, honourable shout. And Rob Lee, Rob Lee, man. I
think Cabaye is actually a bit underrated looking back because what we would kill for that sort of creativity midfield now.
This is what we're crying out for now, man.
Yeah, he was popping up at 25-yarders, everything. It was, you know what's funny actually? He was the one who replaced Nolan, sort of, because I remember Nolan got sold to West Ham, and everyone lost their heads.
Yeah.
And a week later we get Cabaye, and all is forgiven.
All is forgiven, man. All is
so good.
Callum Young saying, did Scott Parker do enough to get a mention? Not for me, I don't think he's either wasn't there long enough or didn't make enough of an impact. I know he was captain for a little bit, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't there long enough to get in, but I do rate him higher than a lot of Newcastle fans. So I remember at the time, people just said he passed sideways. It was a banger. Nah, for some reason I saw through it and I could see he was a good player. And he went on to captain England and play for Spurs in the Champions League. So kind of proves I was right.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with Cabaye and Tiote. That's a good point. Like, together, they do make a good, solid partnership. Similar to, Lee and Speed and stuff like that. So, I think going forward, it does make a good partnership. What's Mark saying? Cabaye's through balls were a dream and had a cracking free kick in him. But remember Cabaye's through ball against Stoke to Cisse. I remember Cabaye's, that free kick against Manchester United when we won 3-0.
Yeah.
Oh, my days. I remember that.
I had been waiting, because I grew up in the Manchester United country. All of my mates are Man United fans. I had to wait over 10 years to see us beat them, right? Yeah. And when Cabaye hits that free kick, it hit the crossbar and bounced down. My eyes didn't believe it. I think it didn't register until about 20 seconds later, I was like, this has actually gone in. We're actually 2-0 up against Man United.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Ross has put a good shout in. Batty was decent, but he wouldn't have made my two. David Batty. Yeah. Who did he play midfield with? Is it Batty and Lee?
You're in the 90s, man. I think it was Lee, wasn't it?
I can't remember. Anyway, Ross, let us know who his partner was. I'm just confused now.
Your memory is failing you.
It's failing me. Listen, this is old age kicking in, man. Right. Here we go. On to strikers. So, the usual suspect. We know one of them is going to be already. Come on, let's face it. We've got Cole, Ferdinand, Shearer, Rondon, Remy, Asprilla, and Demba Ba.
Interesting. Logan Remy is an interesting one.
I
have a feeling you're putting him in because he gave you great memories against Villa, right?
That was my first home game, I think that was.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, yeah. So
first game, travelled up to St. James's Park on a mega bus. So doing that mega bus is tiring, like 10, 12 hours. Stayed over the night before in, can't remember the name of that flipping, what's it called?
Travelodge?
No, I didn't have Travelodge money at the time, mate. Nah, mate. It's more of a
on the side of the road. I don't know.
It was a hostel. Got in about 4 a.m. Had my ticket already, and then I thought, I'll come all this way up for a 0-0 draw. And then I think it's like the 85th minute or something like that. Loke Remy then goes and scores the winner. I was like, yes,
yeah.
Yeah. Dino's put Beardsley as well. Yeah, Beardsley probably should have made. Oh, not that one. Beardsley should have made it into this category, but I don't know. I think I'll put him in centre midfield category. Again, it's up to you if you want to put him in there. Ross says, can only do Shearer and Ferdinand. Loves Cole and Barb. Would take any of them back. Trust me, Ross. I'll take any one of them back. Any one of them.
Does Solomon Rondon really make the top 10 of strikers?
Do we have a top 10? I don't even think we have a top 10, mate. I think we've got
Obafemi Martins.
What? One strike.
It was a good strike.
One strike against Tottenham. That's it. Who else would have made it in there? Yeah, obviously Beardsley could have made it in there. But think about it striker-wise. Go on. Try and rack your brains and think.
Shoal Amiobi for playing Sunderland. Let's see. Wait, there's no Carroll. There's no Andy Carroll in there. Not this version of Andy Carroll, the one who scores once a year. Not 10 years ago.
Carroll had a good championship season and a bit.
Yeah. Rondon had what?
I could have put Carroll in there. I could have put Carroll version 1 in there. I could have put him in there.
Yeah.
Arctic Swan said, so Johan Griffin is not mentioned. No,
right,
Johan Griffin is not mentioned. I'm sorry there, Arctic Swan. Ross is getting cheeky now saying no Owen.
We know why there's no Owen.
Yeah, exactly. We both know. And then, Shola. Yeah, Shola, sorry.
Okay, is there a Cisse?
Nah, man. I've been at half season, man. I mean,
I think there's more. I think Cisse has a better shot of getting in than Rondon, honestly.
What are you shitting on Rondon for?
It wasn't that good. He was a workhorse in a...
He wasn't that good?
No, he was a workhorse in a pretty bang average team. He was a target man. He was a target man.
Wow.
Nah. Put Rondon in any team under Sir Bobby Robson or even Pardew, and he barely make the bench.
Oh, wow. That's disrespectful.
All right. You love Rondon.
James said, okay. Nile Ranger. Yeah.
Clearly, that we can see by this man's photo, he's clearly not to be trusted.
Yeah. Mark Beffy, you put Rondon in, but Perez finished top scorer. Oh, okay, Mark. All right, stir in the pot there. Okay.
I'm telling you, Rondon's not that good.
To say he's not that good, that's disrespectful now. Come on. I'm not having no Solomon Rondon stand-up. No.
He's okay. No, he's decent. He's a decent mid-table striker, but he is not top 10 Newcastle strikers. No way.
Okay. Hold on. I'll take the L on this one because Dino's right. Bellamy. I should have put in Bellamy. Okay. I'll take the L.
It's like you're being told off by a school teacher.
Craig Bellamy, yes. Perfect foil for Shearer, especially an aging Shearer at the time.
Although nowadays, I'm pretty sure if Shearer saw him, he'd knock him out.
Yeah. They're not staying on the pitch for too long. Put it that way.
No.
For me, anyone who knows me is quite an obvious one. Shearer obviously makes it into everyone's team, and then part of the reason why I support Newcastle is Sir Les. So it's an easy one. Andy Cole, of course, what a goal scorer records. Remy, obviously, I gave you the reason why. Rondon, don't know why you're slandering him. Rio, put that hat trick alone against Barcelona. Mark Beffer said, is Rondon performing in China? I don't know. Listen, leave me alone with the Rondon, man. Anybody would have thought I put him, I don't know, Stephen Gabash or something like that, man.
Louis
and Denver Bar, he had a good season and a bit, didn't
he? He was brilliant.
Exactly. Islam Slimani, get out of here. Islam Slimani. Who you saying then?
I think I'm going Demba and Papi Cisse.
You're taking the piss, bro. Stop trying.
No.
You are taking the piss.
I think, Shearer was decent, but I mean, as a
was decent.
He was decent.
Put that on your Newcastle United tombstone. Like, Shearer was decent. Wow.
Maybe I don't know. See, Michael Owen was a decent predator in the box, so maybe you'd have Andy Carroll and Michael Owen side by side, perhaps. I'm winding you up. I'm winding you up.
How far you can take this?
Yeah. I was trying to cause a meltdown in the comments. No, yeah, obviously Shearer. You know, Andy Cole's record was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So I feel like Cole is the correct answer to put him beside Shearer. But I've already said I'm not picking 90s players. So Demba Ba, Shearer and Ba. During that season, we finished 5th. He was brilliant, at least for the first half until Cisse came, kind of put his nose out of joint. Okay. I think you want a nippy predator-like finisher besides Shearer, and I think Ba gives you that.
Well, I'm sorry to do this, but overruled, mate. Overruled. I can never ever take out Sir Les, my adopted uncle, out of the team.
And nor should you, great player, but I'm not picking 90s players. I have to stick to my rule. But yeah, I mean, do you know what? You'd be better for this as a 90s one. Shearer and Ferdinand, or Shearer and Cole. Shearer and Cole would have been unbelievable.
Shearer and Cole would have been unbelievable, but there was a reason why we signed Ferdinand. And obviously because we got rid of Cole. So it was never going to happen.
Shearer stole his number 9 shirt and he's never forgiven him.
It's like playing school games, isn't it? Oh, he took my shirt. Yeah. I've got to put in Ferdinand. There's no way. I can't budge on that one.
But you know what I will say? You know what I will say for Shearer and Cole? That could have been a thing if Shearer, thank God he did, but if Shearer had gone to Man United as well as Cole, that would have been a partnership which would have probably won the treble. So that kind of shows you how good that would have been. But
see, look, Ross agrees. That Ross says Clinton is right. You need to be overruled. See, well done, Ross. Yep, overruled.
All right, I'm just saying, Andy Cole's record was unbelievable.
I know it was. I know, but again, partnership-wise. Yeah, it worked. It just worked. Arctic Swan, Louvrencrans, no, sorry.
Yeah, you're Arctic Swan, you crazy man.
Yeah, not happening. Right, who is this bad boy team getting managed by? I already seen your comment, Mark, so don't worry, I'm coming to it in a second, but I'll put out the suggestions there. Quite obvious ones, of course. Keegan, Robson, and Benitez. Shall I read out Mark's one for Bants? Yeah, go on then.
Alan Pardew, was it, or?
No, let me get the joking here. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. Dan Gosling in midfield as well. All right.
Danny Guthrie as well. Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think you can ever get a wrong answer from these three.
That's a tough shortlist, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Well, I'll go first, will I?
Go on.
I can't look past her, Bobby. I love that man. He's just infectious. His charisma. He had all the players inside. Sacking him in 2004 was arguably our worst decision ever, and it's all been downhill since then. He came in and not only did he steady a sinking ship. We were 19th in the league back in '99, but he came in and got us into the Champions League. Absolute brilliant manager. I would say possibly the best English manager of all time. Maybe him and Brian Clough. So, yeah, I'm picking him. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm picking him. What do you think?
I'm gonna go. I always say this. There's two-part reasons why obviously I support Newcastle. One is Sir Les, and the second is Kevin Keegan. And again, even I think Ross says it here. It's like so difficult, but Keegan, because of the entertainment factor, and I believe we could beat anyone, and that's it. Like, there's a reason why we get this quote-unquote deluded Geordie sort of tagline, and that's because of him. Really, it's because he made you feel like, we can beat these lot and all the rest of it. Like, bring them on. If you score 4, we'll score 5. That sort of thing. And anyone who grew up in that era will still have that in the back of their mind. It might be pushed way back there because of what's going on right now, but at the same moment in time, it's like, yeah, it made you feel like you could take on the world, and you might even take that into your own personal life as well. But look, as I said, there's no going to be a wrong answer for this one, because even younger people than us will go probably Rafa Benitez, but for me, it's got to be Kevin Keegan, man, hands down.
Yeah. The quality shortlist, like.
Yeah.
3 top managers.
Well, so sacking Sir Bobby was the worst decision in Newcastle United history.
It was absolutely ridiculous decision.
Yeah. James Kinsella's also having a joke as well. John Carr was the best manager in the Premier League, according to himself.
Yeah.
Dino saying Sir Bobby above all. Yeah. Okay. Look, as I said, there's no wrong answer for this one. Oh, Marcus also said has to be Sir Bobby, gentleman and hero. Plus, we're never seen dead in Irish guys.
Strong events, Mark. Some of these. Yeah.
I was going to leave him out, but they keep making it, so I'm glad you spotted him, Mark. And then obviously Callum said as well, it's got to be Sir Bobby. Yeah, okay. I'll go Sir Bobby. But for me, it's Kevin Keegan. Hands down, has to be. So yeah.
I'll go with Sir Bobby, but hands down, it has to be what I picked.
For me, it is.
All right. So let's see.
So this is it on screen. So Given, Debussy, Enrique, Colaccini, Woodgate, Ben Arthur, Ginola, Kabay, Tiote, Shearer, Ferdinand, managed by Robson.
It feels weird seeing a solid defense like that.
And midfield and strikers. Like there's always been a missing part of our team. Like we've always been decent in goalkeeping areas. Defense has eluded us for time. Midfield's been okay as well. And then strikers, it depends what eras you look at, innit? Because obviously that era was Shearer. It's always been Shearer and +1. Shearer and plus Bellamy, Ferdinand, Amiobi for a little bit. Clive. Remember when we had Clivert, Shearer? Oh, we had Clivert, Shearer, Bellamy, and Amiobi. 4 decent strikers at one time.
And Michael Chopper, but yeah.
I said 4 decent strikers at one time.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Those were the days. But,
what could have been. Where do you think that team would finish now if it was in the Premier League? They're all at the peak.
Depending on the teams in and around us, but I'd like to say at least top 4 or 5.
I think that team could get into the Champions League.
Yeah,
I think that could be up there with like Tottenham level.
Yeah,
because look at it. It's a solid defense, great keeper, creativity on the wings, solid midfield, and potentially world class strike force. So yeah. I think that could be like top 3.
What's Statman Keep shout out to you, said, even as I'm just tuning in now, I watched this on catch up. I like the idea for this show moving forward. Fordy, can you give us your all-time EastEnders 11?
You had us in the first part.
Yeah, you had me. I was like, oh yeah, EastEnders. Okay, cool. Mark said, Sir Bobby manager, Kevin Keegan assistant, and Rafa as coach. Oh, now you're spoiling us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rafa Benitez, a Champions League winner, is going to be part of someone's backroom staff. Yeah, that's going to happen.
But again, look, any way to kind of get them all in.
He's going to be the Terry McDermott.
Yeah, exactly. James Kinsella, the Chelsea Brazilian Kennedy, has been robbed. If you ask me, oh god.
Every time I see this guy's face pop up, it's just wrong every time.
Lua as well, who was Rapids. You had me. You was agreeing with me 1 minute. Now you're just bringing in Lua. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, good question from Dino. He said, "Who's on the bench?" Okay. Yeah. I mean, pretty much most of the people that we didn't mention, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think Score reckons that we're going to finish 12th, by the way.
Now, with that team, are you mad? Yeah.
No, I can't say 12. Come on now.
It's ridiculous. Half those players were finishing in the top. Yeah. I think. Yeah. That team's top four. There's literally not a weak point in it.
Maybe Debussy. I'm still question marks on Debussy.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't world class or anything, but he was decent. Better than Danny Simpson.
Yeah. Oh, Mark said, who is owning this team, Ashley or Sir John Hall? Going to be a tough choice. Well, no one could be worse than Ashley, so it's got to be Sir John Hall. I mean, as long as we don't go bankrupt, yeah, that's it for me. What about you?
I mean, I think John Hall got a bit of unfair stick looking back. I mean, he did fork out for, Shearer and players like that. I remember we had problems with Freddie Shepherd and John Hall because they were so careless with their money, and they would pay someone like Michael Owen $100,000 a week. But what would we give for that now? Now we've the complete opposite. Ashley just doesn't put his hand in his pocket at all.
At all. And
yeah.
I suppose that leads onto the current situation that we're going through right now. I mean, obviously, losing to the worst team currently in Premier League history.
Let's not even go there. Let's not end this on a sour note. This is a positive video for you, all right?
I mean, look, some people might suggest we need to speak about it.
All right. It was... What more is there to say? It's just dinosaur tactics. It doesn't work in the Premier League now anymore. You know what? I'm not going to be one of those who's just going to absolutely lambast Bruce. You get what you pay for. We know what type of manager he is. He's a Hull City, Birmingham, Championship Villa level manager. And if you bring him in to replace Rafa Benitez, this is what you're going to get. So, what more is there to say? Like, yeah, we could say that we want to get a manager like Eddie Howe, who plays nice progressive football, but we're not going to finish in the top 10. The real issue here is Mike Ashley. And like, we think about it, the players we have are so bang average. I know people say these players are good enough to finish in the top 7. They're not. They really aren't. Sam Maximin's a top player. Callum Wilson's a good Premier League striker. But the rest, Sean Longstaff, fraud. Mickey Almiron, not worth the hype. Fabian Schär, again. Yeah, he scores a couple of worldies, but he's not top half quality. We're still playing Paul Dummett 6 years after he should have been sold. DeAndre Yedlin still gets a game. Like, we can bring in progressive. I see people wanting Nigel Pearson. Nigel Pearson is not going to do. He is not going to do anything with this Newcastle team. It'll be more of the same. Route 1 tactics, barely staying up. The real issue is Mike Ashley, and that's it really. So you can get rid of Bruce, but nothing is going to change. Even under Rafa. Rafa still played pretty bad, pretty boring football. Like, he did well, but we were still only finishing 10th at best. Like, the only way we're going to challenge for anything is getting rid of Ashley. What do you think?
Yeah, you pretty much summed it all up. The only thing I was going to ask or suggest is, like, do we have to act now? Because otherwise, if we're going through another, we're in January now, another 6 more months of this, we could risk going down. That's the main thing. And he's got it wrong in the past. I think if he doesn't move quickly now, because again, you've seen it with McLaren and Benitez, he didn't act quickly enough for that. Shearer as well, when we went down under Shearer.
Yeah.
If he acts quickly enough now, then we could.
Do you think he'll be gone? Or in a few months, are we going to be seeing you screaming Bruce out like you did with McLaren after the Bournemouth game?
I think I've been doing that already. I've been
Yeah.
already. Like Bruce needs to go now. I think for his own point of view, to be safe, to be walking around his hometown, I think he needs to, for the love of the club, if he loves this club properly, he needs to kind of say, you know what, I've taken this, you know that Adol saying, I've taken as far as I can go and all the rest of it, and then move on, and then we just get someone in for the next 6 months, if not longer, just to steady the ship, just to make sure that we're playing Premier League football next season. Because the way that we're playing right now is Championship football all the way.
Who would you get then? Who would you replace him with?
Look, the Eddie Howe ones is not a bad shout, but at the same time, I would like someone going forward that could take us forward. And the only one that, I know it's mad, but the only one that probably we could get and knows the club already is Rafa. Like, just go get him. He knows what to do.
Yeah,
but a group of players, and shined up a turd and basically made them half decent. And
it's gone though. That's not. I don't see that. Like,
they were boring. Look, I agree with you. Saying, look, saying Bruce just cannot coach players through a game like Rafa did. Yes, at times Rafa's tactics were boring, but it just had means.
Yeah, 100%. Now Rafa did a good job. It's more I'm saying we don't have the tools to really challenge. Like we don't have the players.
We're not going to challenge for anything this season. Let's face it. We're out of 2 cups. We're not going to get any sort of European football anytime soon. But to stay, I'm talking about the survival because we might be where we are right now, but we're losing to Sheffield United. We're losing to teams that are below us, bro. We're losing to Leeds. We're losing to all of these teams.
Yeah.
I didn't even get happy when we drew to Liverpool because I knew shit was around the corner. And that's what I'm just saying. Like, we need to try and stay in here. Callum Young saying Bilic. I think he's already got a job.
He's already got a job. He's already got a job. Yeah.
That wasn't long. What's Keith saying? Lads, in every respect, the club is the complete opposite to the one was in the 90s and the noughties in the worst possible way. It's getting ridiculous now. Bruce, Ashley and Charlie out. No, I agree. But in the meantime, Ashley's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's not going to take a loss like the guys down the road did. He's just going to hold on to us for dear life because it's his bread and butter. But I just think we need a manager to come in next 6 months. Okay, cool. We're doing basics. A bit like, dare I say it, Sam Allardyce does. Do you know what I mean? He comes in, does. I know it's ugly, I know. But at the same time, just do the basics, cool. Grind out a couple 0-0s, a 1-0 win every now and then, and just secure Premier League football. Because otherwise...
I actually think Bruce is going to keep us up. I think if he stays to the end of the season, it's not going to... It won't be comfortable, but I think we will just about stay up. Because he does scrape results from games that look like for example, right? Tottenham away at the start of the season, you would write that off as a 4-0 loss, right? We got a draw. We got a draw against Liverpool. Last season we drew at home at Man City, beat Man United, beat Chelsea. Like he does pull out results out of pretty tricky fixtures. The only problem with him is that then we go and lose to Sheffield United and lose 5-2 to Leeds. So it doesn't matter anyway. But I think we will scrape enough. I think.
I just don't think it's him getting the results. I feel like there's leaders more on the pitch than off it. I feel like it's either the likes of your Lascelles getting you through the game, or your Fernandes getting through the game, or Paul Dummets who's getting through the game. I feel like the team and the management team are separate because for me, there's nothing that screams out that there's a leader on the sideline. There's no one that screams out that someone knows what they're doing. Like, tell me, you'll be hard pushed to find a Steve Bruce tactic that's come off and you thought, hold on a minute, playing him there makes sense, or that substitution made sense, or do you know what I mean? You'll be very hard pushed. Give me 5, give me 3. Like,
I mean, Paul Dummett at left wing back was an inspired decision, in my opinion.
You know what I mean? Like, even playing, I don't know, when we're playing ASM on the opposite side, no, just play him right wing. He keeps coming on, off the left. It's so predictable. Everyone can see it. Even Stevie Wonder can see it, man. It's just so predictable. Yeah. You're playing Almiro on pretty much as a defensive midfielder now. Like, what are we doing here? We're ruining careers. And that's the thing. We're bringing in players like Jamal Lewis, bless him, and we're ruining careers. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, we could talk all night about everything that's going wrong right now. Yeah. Nothing's going to change until Ashley's gone. But anyway, at least we have our team, eh? The all-time 11.
There we go. We have our all-time 11. If any of them wants to come back and get involved, please, Warren Barton, Shearer, Ferdinand, any one of them, please come back and.
Hey, you're sneaking Warren Barton in there. We decided on the Bushy, all right?
So I'll take anyone, man, right now.
Yeah. Patrick Van Aanholt, Martin Harewood, anyone.
There we go. We're plucking all the golden oldies out.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks for watching and listening in. Thank you for your suggestions as well. And again, Mr. Irish Guy, thank you for coming on, man.
Not at all. We'll do it again soon.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
as always.
As always, man. Thank you, bro. Take care.
Yeah. All right.